Hello everyone, this is Badger doing an in-depth analysis of the new Zaalbar update on this Omicron. Just want to encourage everyone to watch this because I actually went through and pulled out some details that other people didn't really share in their videos. So we're going to do the Wookiee team first. With his Omicron, he's basically helping a 3v3 Darth Revan team, the Wookiee team, and then the Karth team, which could be made up of different characters, either Jedi or stuff, as long as the Jedi are not leaders. So let's go over here. We're going to start with Tarful's leadership and unique here real quick. Just want to point out a couple things. So under this, tanks are going to automatically taunt at the start of the battle. And as you'll see in Zaalbar's kit, he has that in there, and that's more going to benefit like the Karth and the Darth Revan teams rather than the Wookiees. So Wookiees here get automatic taunt for all tanks for 1 turn. When a Wookiee ally taunts, all Wookiee allies gain 10% defense stacking for the rest of the encounter. When the taunt expires, all Wookiees recover 25% health. There's a couple things there for taunt. Rest of this doesn't really have anything to really do with taunt or retribution. So we are going to jump over here to his unique. And we gotta scroll down here a little ways. Right here, whenever a Wookiee ally gains retribution, Wookiee allies inflict damage over time to target enemy for 2 turns when they use a basic ability, which can't be evaded. So he's gonna get some extra retribution buff opportunities, so this is gonna help get more damage over time up. So let's jump back over here to Zaalbar. So as we jump over here to his special, deal physical damage to all enemies, gain taunt for 3 turns. So he has a taunt right here, and an armor shred. His basic, deal physical damage and inflict 2 damage over time on target enemy for 2 turns and recover 10% health. Okay, that just gives you an overview of what his attacks kind of look like. We'll jump over here. Just he gets defense stacking whenever he takes a turn, just so you can see that there's not much there. Okay, this is where the meat of it is, right here. Zaalbar has 25% critical avoidance. Whenever ally falls below 100% health, Zaalbar gains retribution and taunt for 2 turns. So there's a below 100% health, and then he's gonna get an automatic taunt under Tarful lead for 1 turn. At the start of each of his turns, Zaalbar recovers 10% protection for each stack of damage over time on enemies. So in theory, if you had 10 damage over time on the enemy, he could recover 100% of his protection if he had 0 protection. That's pretty good. Makes him super tough, especially if they can't cleanse those damage over time. So the only spot that's going to really affect the Wookiee team is this one right here. While in Grand Arenas, Zaalbar gains retribution and taunt for 1 turn at the start of the battle. Same thing under Tarful lead, except you get Retribution at the start off. That's the only real difference. At the start of his turn. So if he doesn't have it when he starts his turn, then he'll get those. And whenever he loses Retribution or Taunt. So he's basically going to have a perpetual Retribution Taunt buff, essentially. Because as soon as you take it off, he gets it right back. Which is really good. Makes him a really good tank for that team. Also would protect Darth Revan, obviously, from possibly being targeted, and helps the Karth team out. Because having a tank that has a forever taunt definitely makes it harder to get around unless you have certain characters like Jedi Knight Revan where you can just kind of bypass tanks. Okay, whenever he attacks out of turn, inflict a stack of damage over time for 2 turns on all enemies. Right there, that's your key. So if you can get him to attack out of turn on the Wookiee team, then he'll get a bunch of damage over times, and then when it comes around to his turn, he has the potential to recover all of his protection, or a lot of it at least, which can't be evaded or resisted. Enemies can't gain defense up or stealth. All good things right there. And if you guys need an example of calling Zaalbar out of turn, we can just head over here back to Tarful. Whoops, too far. Wookiee Fury. Right in here. Call all Wookiee allies to assist. Stun target enemy for 1 turn. Right there's your at least 1 call to assist without going through the whole team. Just shows you that the team does have the ability to call them out of turn to get that damage over time on all the enemies. So that's the Wookiee portion. And if you guys are enjoying these videos, please subscribe and share these videos. Trying to build up the channel. Really could use the support. So let's go over here back to Zaalbar, and we are going to look at the part that deals with Darth Revan mission foe. Of course, there has to be no Galactic Legend enemies. This is pretty straightforward. Don't really need extra, information on this. Zaalbar mission gain the Sith Empire tag until the end of battle. Mission gains a bonus turn at the start of battle. Until the start of that turn, she can't be targeted by enemies. At the start of that turn, she is instantly defeated and grants her critical chance, critical damage, offense, and speed to Zaalbar and Darth Revan. Obviously, this is really good for Darth Revan because speed, offense, crit damage, crit chance, all that's going to make him, just be insanely powerful in offense. And it doesn't really help Zaalbar be tanky. It does help him dish out damage every time he has Retribution, which up here would basically mean he always has Retribution, since Zaalbar gained Retribution taunt at the start, and whenever he loses it, he regains it. And something to remember under the Darth Revan lead, for each debuff of that character that's on the enemy, then you get so much speed. So Darth Revan will be even faster. Zaalbar will be faster when he gets those damage over times out on the team. So it's just, Darth Revan and Zaalbar just be like on the Galactic Legend level of speed, because if you have a 300 speed Darth Revan, you had mission even at 200. I mean, that's putting him up around 500 speed. Obviously, you can be even faster than that. Plus, you get his debuffs out there, and then he's gaining speed from that. So, yeah, he's easily in the Galactic Legend speed category without doing any real math. Which is kind of cool if you like Darth Revan. In addition to their own until the end of the battle, obviously, these effects persist through defeat. Zaalbar and Darth Revan gain guard until Zaalbar is defeated. Once per turn, Darth Revan assists whenever Zaalbar uses an ability. Just some things to make the team a little tougher there. Overall, really boosts Darth Revan. Kind of pull, I guess, gives you an option to use him if you're running like a Darth Malik team. And for the last part, this is going to be more for a Cars lead. And, to be honest, we'll go over and look at Cars. But his allies could be, you could plug in Bastila Shan and Jolie as allies if you wanted to. It's just as long as the leader's not a Jedi. So you can have the Jedi, you can have, there's a little droid, T3 droid. There's a lot of different comps, and obviously not very many people's doing any testing and showing what the different comps might do and stuff. If I get a chance, I'll try to make some videos. Okay, well, on 5v5, all allies are light side Old Republic, so they have to be light side, and the leader is not a Jedi. Allies are immune to daze and expose. It's always good. At the start of each turn, allies gain 20% defense and tenacity for each enemy debuff until the end of the turn. It just makes you tankier. Whenever another ally taunts, they dispel it, take a bonus turn, and gain 400% offense stacking until the end of the counter or the start of a Galactic Legends turn. So this here is directly calling out Juhani. Because Juhani has a taunt, and since Zaalbar has a taunt, forever taunt, when Juhani gets that, pulls a taunt, she'll dispel it, take a bonus turn, able to attack with 400% offense until the end of the counter. So obviously she just keeps ramping up her offense. The kind of the odd thing here is, or the start of a Galactic Legends turn. Now obviously CG could be referring to if there's an enemy Galactic Legend, but it's interesting. They could be throwing out a hint here that we could be having a Galactic Legend Revan coming in the future. It's a possible hint. Just something of interest. But moving on here, whenever an enemy gains bonus turn meter, they are inflicted with a stack of damage over time for 2 turns, which can be evaded or resisted. Obviously that helps Zaalbar gain protection back. If Jolie Bindu is an ally, that looks pretty bad, revives all defeated allies. These bonuses persist as Zaalbar is defeated. So obviously there's a call out to Jolie Bindu, and we'll jump right over there. And And take a look at Julie real quick, just so you guys can see that. Right here, that looks pretty bad. Dispel all debuffs on target ally. They recover 40% health, then revive all defeated Jedi allies at 80% health and grant those allies crit immunity for 5 turns. So the reason why they have that specified in Zaalbar's kit is because in their Julie, it specifies Jedi, and they're changing it under that Omicron to basically allow you to revive any Old Republic light side allies. And so let's, without further ado, jump over here. As you can see, there's not a big pick. I mean, there's not a lot of picks here. I mean, you got cars. Actually, most of these here are light side, all except for Candrass. I don't know how viable the 2 droids are, would be in a team. I've seen some comp suggestions to create like a droid team with those, which if you pulled those 2 droids out would leave you with Mission, Zaalbar, Karts, and then you could throw in like Julie and Juhani, and then put like Jedi Knight Revan and Bastila Shan in like some Jedi squads. So there's idea there. Obviously, you could use Bastila Shan in this outfit if you wanted. Jump down here, the cars, just to kind of give you an idea here. All Republic allies gain 30% potency, tenacity, critical avoidance whenever enemies inflicted with the damage over time. All Old Republic guys recover 3% health and protection. So all that damage over time that they're giving Zaalbar is going to help this team survive longer. When an Old Republic ally uses their basic ability during their turn, they have an 80% chance to call another Old Republic ally to assist, dealing 50% less damage. And then we can make sure there's nothing over here. It's not going to affect them. That's cards. Gains offense. Gains critical chance and damage. So nothing there that will affect Zaalbar helping the team out. So yeah, that right there is kind of a more in-depth look at Zaalbar's Omicron, kind of how you can use it. Obviously, you can't use any of the Jedi for leaders, so that kind of limits your leadership options down the card. And I'll show you real quick that these other ones don't. There's no leadership under T3, obviously. Obviously, the same thing for mission. Cards we just went over. And then, 50RT has a leadership, but as you go in here and look, it's more geared for droid allies. So this doesn't really work all that well under Zaalbar. So your one leader that you're basically stuck with is Kars. You have Zaalbar. Obviously, mission goes good with Zaalbar because they kind of pair up. Juhani's called out. Jolie's called out. So they've kind of created you a team right there. But you could change it up if you want to have T3, M4 in there, or Bastila Shan. Yeah, if you wanted to move somebody out into a different team, like you had Juhani over in like Star Killer Squad or something like that. So just some kind of squad ideas and suggestions. Hope this helps everyone. Hope you guys found this informative and helpful, and not just a bunch of jabbering like some other content creators are doing. Hope everyone has a good time, and please share and subscribe to the videos. Thank you.